Good afternoon and welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show right here on Newsmax. Here are the headlines trending across America. New files exposing how a top university colluded with Twitter to suppress free speech. This is only one in a string of bombshell revelations coming out of the Twitter files exposing big tech's collusion with corporations to control messaging. And don't forget, control the message, control the masses. And Democrats' digital plan is the left using the financial panic from the banking crashes to advance their ploy. We discuss why that may be true. Meanwhile, the Biden money trail is slowly unraveling. New banking records revealing that the Bidens received millions from, you guessed it, a Chinese-linked company. And former California Congressman Gavin Newsom joins me later in the hour to discuss the Biden family's so deep ties to America's #1 adversary, and that, of course, is China. And retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, along with Brigadier General Blaine Holt, are also standing by to discuss the national security implications of Russia's war on Ukraine. But first, question for all of you. Why hasn't anyone in the Biden family been raided, been subpoenaed? It's now been 3 years since federal prosecutors finally admitted that they were investigating the president's son over his taxes and foreign lobbying practices. But now we are learning, thanks to House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, that back in 2017, a Chinese communist-backed party energy company wired at least $3 million to a Biden family associate who then divided the money among the Biden clan. So the story is complicated, but let's break it down and keep it simple for you. Hunter got about $500,000. The president's brother, James Biden, received 5 payments totaling $360,000. Hallie Biden, Beau's widow, the president's son who died of brain cancer, who she ended up later dating Hunter Biden, received about $35,000. And then an unknown Biden family member received $80,000, and over $1 million went to James Gilliar, a business partner of Hunter's. So, a lot of connections there. No other media outlet, though, wants to even touch this story. But I believe this could be yet another example of our national security at risk. Once again, we are seeing that the highest office, not just in the United States, but in the world, is literally being bought and sold right before our very eyes. And not just by anyone, but by our biggest adversary, China. Keep in mind, China is a country hell-bent on becoming a world superpower. Here's former CIA Director and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo.
He wants hegemonic intent across the world with his Marxist-Leninist vision and Chinese economic and political dominance in every corner of the world.
Do you still think she's more dangerous than Putin?
Not even close.
Why?
Xi Jinping is a different creature.
I mean, look what China did to their own people, forcing millions of women there to kill their own children. As we speak, a genocide is occurring among the Uyghur Muslims. So, yeah, this is a really big deal that they gave $3 million to the Biden family. And we know it's serious because Hunter Biden was actually forced to respond, saying, quote, Hunter Biden, a private citizen with every right to pursue his own business endeavors, joined several business partners in seeking a joint venture with a privately owned legitimate energy company in China. First of all, there is no such thing as privately owned anything in communist China. All we're seeing is that they're coming over here and buying stuff here. I mean, that's what the United States is doing. And we know that Hunter Biden also had a crack addiction. So what exactly was he doing? What service was he providing to get $3 million? But at least now they're no longer dismissing all of this as Russian disinformation. So I guess that's some progress, right? In fact, Hunter Biden just sued the repair shop owner who turned over his laptop to the FBI, forget this guys, for invasion of privacy. Undeniable proof that the laptop belonged to Hunter all along, and this was not some sort of Putin plot, as the experts, so-called experts, led us to believe. But even with these records, I fear the Bidens will never, ever face justice. And yet, if you watch the mainstream media, it's Trump. It's the MAGA Republicans who are the greatest threat to our democracy.
Ray was appointed by Trump, but is directly confronting how Trump MAGA and right-wing agitators are encouraging violence against police.
The hatred from America that you hear spewing from Donald Trump's mouth. Donald Trump hated America before he became president of the United States.
There have got to be at least 5 or 6 items in there that can be charged against Trump and put together in a pattern to show the complete activity of how that organization and how Donald Trump ran it by falsifying the records.
It's Trump, as you said. It's DeSantis. It's Sarah Huckabee Sanders. If you listen to the rhetoric from the most powerful voices in the Republican right wing of the party, they are painting the country and painting the future as this dark, depressing, ominous dystopia.
But not a single word about Hunter Biden or this story. And now, in an exclusive report, CNN has now revealed that dozens of Mar-a-Lago staff, from servers to aides, are being subpoenaed in the Trump classified documents probe. Do you even hear this? Our Department of Justice is wasting time interviewing waiters and housekeepers over the kinds of documents that every president takes with them when they leave office. Contrast that with Biden, who was busted with the stashing of those boxes of classified documents right next to his beloved Corvette in an unsecured garage. And it seems like Hunter was paying rent there. We don't even know. These documents were from when Biden was a senator and the vice president. And unlike President Trump, Biden doesn't even have the power to declassify anything or remove those documents. When is Merrick Garland going to raid Biden's property, interview his wait staff, his nurses, calling Dr. Jill? Of course not. This is the Biden family. We are truly living in a bizarro world where our Department of Justice is simply too busy investigating parents at school board meetings, traditional Catholics, and Mar-a-Lago waiters. And just this week, the DOJ told a federal court that it's now prepared to charge more than 1,000 additional people in connection with the January 6th protest. And just yesterday, the DOJ arrested a former chief editor of the New York City-based Jewish press, Elliot Resnick. What about the Summer of Love, aka the BLM riots, which caused billions of dollars in damages all across our country? Innocent people, police officers were injured, some of them killed, businesses destroyed, lives were lost. Are they being brought to justice? Is the DOJ still investigating who firebombed this and that? No, but they are BLM rioters. They're asking for reparations. In California, they're now pushing to give all eligible Black citizens $5 million per person. Take a listen to this audio from a San Francisco Board of Supervisors meeting on this topic.
This is not about Black people just having their handout. This is about hundreds of years of free labor, about being removed from our homes, not allowed to be educated, not allowed to earn a wage, not allowed to reproduce and raise families, pushed out of San Francisco, forced to pay the education of others without the same benefit, isolated and redlined, and the list goes on.
Guess what, guys? Slavery never existed in California. They also want to wipe out every Black person's debt there, allow them to purchase homes for $1. This is so insulting if you think about it. As thousands of California citizens, including veterans, live in squalor on the streets, Governor Newsom now has this magical plan to deal with the homeless crisis. He's bringing in the National Guard. Take a listen.
These 1,200 small homes that we see are going to be critical interim housing for our local cities and our counties as they strive to meet their ambitious goals that they set forth for themselves. And while it took us decades to get into this crisis, we know it's going to take time and commitment from the state to move ahead.
We have laid out a vision, a strategy, and a plan, and the cities, the counties, and what is referred to, and you heard a moment ago, as the COCs, these continuums that are working to regionalize solutions.
Look at there without his little tie on, trying to look all cool. Hey, Gavin, I know you want to run for president, so I know that's why you're now pretending to care, but the homeless crisis, it's not a housing crisis, it's geography, baby. You know, remember the line from Pretty Woman? It's a drug crisis. It's because you legalized all drug use. You decriminalized shoplifting, which funds their habits. And cops aren't arresting anyone anymore for even selling drugs. Like most Democrat-run cities with this same issue, this is a self-inflicted crisis fueled by Democrat policies, including open borders, which allows the drug cartels to operate with impunity. Guys, we are truly living in a bizarro world where documented corruption goes unpunished. Trump is investigated for basically what's an overdue library book, and where doctors are being advised to screen biological men for cervical cancer. Yeah, that's happening too.